Actually going to start. First I want to explain that stress is something that accumulates in the body, and that it can come in all different forms. Let me just lower the lights a little. And that in order to get rid of stress from the body, which is intimately connected with the mind, you have to extract it from the body. So the adrenal glands don't go off or come down from a state of stress by themselves. So one of the questions is, how do I extract stress from my body? So a couple of the ways that we've gone over in earlier sessions was using some acupressure points. Hi Barbara. And this is a little device called a muscle hook. It's put out by GoFit. And one of the places that I hold a tremendous amount of stress is in the sides of my neck and the tops of my shoulders and sometimes my lower back. And those are common places to hold stress. And also if you have any kind of tension headaches, frequently it can come from these muscles here, these scalene muscles. So, be careful, use the amount of tension that's right for you. But this thing is so powerful and it's so strong, and I personally think every household should have it. So you can just hit like some acupressure points in the back, on tops of your shoulders. These are all like meridians in here. And then you do it on the other side. Oh, it's feeling good right now. And you can use this really for any place, because there's acupressure points all over your body that are associated with different organs. So above your belly button and below your belly button are your adrenal points, and those are really good to hit, especially before you're going to bed. So if you're ever having a problem with sleep, just remember that sleep problems are usually secondary almost all the time to other problems that are going on in your body, whether it's digestive or generalized stress. It could also be, hi Sandy, from a magnesium, like not having enough magnesium. Magnesium is a really great source of, it's a great supplement to help the body rid itself of stress. And if your magnesium is too low, it could cause feelings, a whole bunch of different feelings. I mean, it's involved in 300 different functions in the body, but it could definitely prohibit a deeper sense of relaxation. So now I'm not telling you to take these products, okay? But it's a much better way to get relaxed, to take. So this is an excellent all pure product, and you can get it on Amazon. If you're interested in getting it, just private message me, okay? I'll give you all the information. You can take 2 of these, and it has, I'll tell you what it has in it. It has folate, it has some L-theanine, it has some magnesium, and other natural substances too. That comes highly recommended by a naturopath, I know. And this is L-tryptophan. L-tryptophan is an excellent thing to take. You can look it up online. Back in the 80s, they actually took it off the market just because there was like one bad batch of it, but it was also because Zoloft was just coming out, and Zoloft is, really popular in the pharmaceutical companies, but L-tryptophan was competing with it because it is so effective and there's no side effects from it. So those are 2 things to help yourself. And then there's essential oils. First of all, essential oils are such a beautiful way to get yourself into a relaxed state. This one is lavender. This one is frankincense. Just make sure you don't ever get them in your eyes, because they're very, very powerful and they're very underused. So you just take, I'm not actually doing it, I'm just demonstrating. You take a couple of drops, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then you rub it on your hands. You can put it anywhere except in your eyes. And you rub it up and down your neck, and you can inhale it. Inhaling it is a really great way to allow it to move into your body. And then you can also rub it just any place that you want. You can rub it on your kidneys, because the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys. So essential oils, or nanoparticles, they have the capacity to move through the skin, which is part of the reason that makes them so powerful. So let's just do, I'm really a believer in adding teeny weeny changes that if you keep doing 1% change in a behavior for a year, in 1 year you'll have a 37% increase in that behavior, in a good habit. So, we want to make the things that we do relate to who we are. So if you want to be, so to speak, sometimes I use this with my clients, if you want to be in the green lane, which I think of as like a healthy person, someone who's really like up and coming with things that are happening. Like, think about when you're doing a habit. Does that habit go back to what I really value? So if you want to get healthy and you want to be relaxed and in a serene place, because when we are in places of relaxation, that's when we're able to access our best parts. And so stress is one of the biggest deterrents and blockers to be able to access what I call your higher self. So what's included in your higher self? Compassion, a sense of calm, creativity, centeredness, connectedness with yourself and other people. There's a process that I use, it's called internal family systems. Don't think about that term, but that is what it's called. It's called IFS. And it talks about ways in which we end up repressing or losing the best parts of ourselves. And it's frequently through stressors, whether they're emotional or physical, that occur in our lives. So another time I'll talk more about that process, but it talks about when a stressor happened in your life, whether it was hurt or pain, from that pain a protector got created. And frequently those protectors have stress related to them, and they're blocking our higher self. So I want you to, everybody who's watching right now, I want you to think of one of the habits that you would like to see relax in your life. And so we always want to be patient with ourselves, because if we're not patient with ourselves, then just like when we're not patient with a child, that child will have much less of a tendency to be cooperative. So think of something that you do, whether it's impatience or quick-temperedness or withdrawing or overeating or overdoing something else, procrastinating, and ask that habit, and you can do that right now, what is it trying to do for you? Sounds like a weird question, but these habits have positive intentions. So even though anxiety, you would say, oh, that doesn't have a positive intention. When it first got created, its intention might have been to make sure you're doing everything right. And withdrawal can be, I want to be safe, keep me away from other people that might hurt me. And then, I know this sounds weird, but then thank that habit for what it's trying to do. But explain to it, and I know all of you are on a different path now than when that habit first got created. And I want you to ask that habit if it would be willing to relax in your life so that you can access a greater part of yourself. And it might say no, but it's good to get in touch with those protectors, those habits that think that they're doing something for us but really aren't. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that process, it's really effective. I just gave you a tiny little clip of it. You can, again, just reach out to me on Messenger. So for now, I want you to lift your shoulders up. I'm going to just do a couple of stretches and lift them all the way up to your ears, and then gently let them drop down. And become mindful of how good that feels. So frequently, we're always centered on the things that don't feel good, the things that don't taste good, the things that we don't like. But if we begin to stop awfulizing and move into focusing more on the positive, we will definitely move into a much happier state. So without having anything that you're going to hit on the sides, I want you to take your arms and rotate them back. Rotate them back. That's really good to stretch. Wow, I'm giving instructions to others. I wish I could hear all of you laugh. And so you're stretching these muscles out here. And then you're going to take your head and rotate it to one side gently. Don't hurt yourself, but go as far as you can. And then drop the shoulder and crane your neck, look up and behind you. And then bring the chin back down. And there's space between our movements. And let the shoulder come back up. And then come to the middle. And then to the other side. Stretch as far as you can. And then drop the shoulder. And then look up behind you and crane that neck open. And then let the shoulder come back up. Let the chin drop down, one movement at a time. And then back to the middle. And so, for a moment, I want you to use your imagination to make pretend that you're going to go to that beautiful island of serenity. And it's your island, and when you're on it, you're completely safe. I don't know if you'll go by boat or plane, or maybe you'll just drift through the beautiful Caribbean waters. But by the time I count to 10, you will have arrived. 1, 2, 3, from the belly, a little deeper, 4, same pace of inhalation as exhalation, 5, deeper and deeper. It's okay to get relaxed. Ask your mind to give permission for you to go into a place of very deep relaxation. Feels so good. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now you're just sliding right into the shoreline of that island. And it all belongs to you. It's so beautiful. White, white sand. Gigantic palm trees. And as you look to the side, you see a gigantic smooth boulder. And right in the middle of that boulder, there's a place carved out for you. And your body is a little bit chilly. And so you go over and you lay your back into that boulder, and as you do, all the tension completely releases from all of the muscles in your back and your head and your skull. And you can feel yourself grounded on that rock. And it reminds you that you're okay and that everything is okay and that everything's okay with you. And as you're lying there, I want to remind you that it's not the events occurring that make us anxious, because we want to come out on the other side of these events that are happening in the world better than we were, than they began. It's the way that we think about them, and it's the way that we handle them and adjust to them. So there's people that were here on this earth before us, and they had so many challenges, and they got through them, some of them, and others did not. And the difference, to a large extent, was whether they awfulized things. And if you want to know more about what awfulizing means, I think the term tells itself, is self-explanatory, but you could ask me. And so as you go back to your island of serenity, a safe place where you are grounded, I want to remind you that you can return to that place anytime. And so that's it for the meditation tonight. 3, 2, 1, eyes open, restfully refreshed and relaxed, and I hope that it will continue throughout the rest of the night. And as always, I want to end with a popular song. And I have my iPod, and I have, is that what it's called? With all the music? Yeah. I have a bunch of Beatles songs on here. So I'm going to play another Beatles song this week. Last week I played Hey Jude, the week before Let It Be. And this week